Good morning.
So thank you for reaching out to us. So I think the way we shall proceed, we shall introduce ourselves, the SNB team, then your team, then we shall tell you a little bit of what we do, and then we give you opportunity to tell us. Yes.
Okay.
Is it okay? So we are two here in SNB, so I will give my colleague to introduce ourselves. Would you want to see our face or not?
I know that is the first. Okay, no, whatever. Either way,
Okay, so we can, let's just talk.
Good morning.
good morning.
My name is Susan Alogo. I work for SNB. I am a project officer, water supply, a civil engineer by profession. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, so I'm with Susan. I'm calling Engineer Kelo, John Robert, OJR. So I'm working also with SNB.
Gloria. Hello. Yes, I am Andrew Awuruku. I am the country director of Mission Clean Water. I lead Mission Clean Water programs in Uganda, and I'm based in Soroti. I had a chance to, I think, meet Engineer Kelo. Either we met in Iowa in Kigali, or we met in a plaza. Can't connect the two, but we had an exchange briefly.
Uh, can I proceed?
I think
Hello?
Engineer Okelo and the team is disconnected. I don't know whether they're hearing us.
Yeah, yeah, very well.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Gloria. I am newly working with Mission Clean Water. I'm majorly helping in the business development aspect and coordination here in Kampala. So it's a pleasure meeting you all, Engineer Okelo and the team.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you have another colleague from your side?
No.
No, it's just the two of us.
Okay, so let me give Susan just to take you through rapidly what we do, SNB, especially the water sector, just in brief. Then I can add.
Thank you so much, Engineer. Um, as SFB, we currently have two projects in the water sector. That is the one of the projects is the sustainable water supply and sanitation for all project, which started last year in December and it is ending in 2028 of November. So this project is it entails both water supply and sanitation, where we shall be majorly doing some repairs, rehabilitations, and a few upgrades. Then we also have a component of washing schools, and then also improving household sanitation and hygiene. Then the other project is the Duma that we are working in partnership with Ministry of Water and Environment. That is to operationalize the O&M framework in Lango sub-region, where we are going to be using the area service provider model. It is a 5-year project that started last year. Last year, I think. Last year.
Last year.
Yeah, we started it last year, and it is going to run for 5 years. Maybe you can add on something here.
No, I think you have said it all. It is both hardwares and softwares, and those two projects are interrelated, very strengthening systems and supporting the rollout of the O&M framework in this region. Let's hear from you. SNB, if you need to know more about SNB, you can always go to snb.org. snbuganda.org. Then you can get more details about SNB, where we work. But I want to say that we are operating in the three sectors of agriculture, food, of energy, and then water. So of those three sectors, water sector is the least. It is very small because our budget is just about 2 million euros, whereas other projects have budgets of 17 million euros, 7.5 million euros. We have more than 3 projects, and especially on agriculture, where we have more than 17 million euros. So it is the biggest, but we operate in the entire country in those three sectors, meaning all the regions in those three sectors. Our regional offices, this one is a regional office in Lira. We have another regional office in Jinja. We have a regional office in Fort Portal. We have a regional office, another office, satellite office in Rukungiri. And then, of course, the country office is in Kampala, opposite Ugorobi Flats, the first gate. So that's how we operate. Our existence in Uganda spans back up to 1989. And that office in Kampala, we are not renting. It is our own premise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Okello. Yes, like I said earlier on, my name is Andrew Awuruku. I'm the team lead in Uganda. Mission Clean Water has been operating in Uganda for the last 6 or 7 years, and we have been stationed or based in Teso sub-region. Over the past couple of years, we have developed the water sector, where we were able to give motorized supply-sensing systems in the districts of Serere, Soroti, Kalaki, where we motorize the wells and then drive the water within the radius of 5 kilometers from the submersible pump. And we use the energy, part of the energy sector to motorize the water and then build a water tower so that the water can drive using gravitational energy or pressure to reach the communities and supporting communities within 200 meters with a standpipe, and creating water user committees that are able to manage the water sources after, and collecting water user fees, a minimum water user fees of about 2,000 shillings, so that those fees go to the basket for future management and maintenance of the water points. We had the opportunity to do OM repairs in the Lango and Choli sub-region, where we rehabilitated over 70 boreholes that were initially drilled by Wells of Life and dropped in the bucket and Spills of Life. We were migrating from the GI pipes to the stainless pipes so that we improve the water systems in those areas. Recently, we are also working in Teso sub-region, where we're envisioning to become the area service provider for the Teso sub-region, working with the districts of Soroti, Kalaki, Amuria, to improve the OM framework, the current new OM framework developed by Ministry of Water and Energy. So, though there have been some technical glitches on the delay on the operationalization of the water boards in these various communities where we envision to work, we have already entered into the MOUs with those districts, and we are continuing to support them in repairing the current water boreholes they have, using or working alongside the district water offices, the district engineer, district water office, where they identify the water sources in the district that currently need repairs. We adopting the OM framework from Ministry of Energy and Environment in our operations in Teso. Currently, our satellite office is only in Teso, and that's where our headquarters is ever since the initiation of operations in Uganda. And we both support software and hardware in in Teso. Briefly, we have a team of about 12 people already working, but also work alongside the composition of the area land, not the area land committee, but the water management committees within the various water points and then the water supply systems that we have developed already in TESO. So briefly, that's what I can say for now about Mission Clean Water. But of course, yeah, our parent organization comes from the United States, based in New Jersey. That's what I failed to say. Sorry.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, I think we can now do some bit of asking of questions.
Yes.
We can ask you some questions, then you will also ask us some questions. But I will start. You said the parent organization is based in the US. What is the name of that, the parent organization?
The parent organization is
And
Mission Clean Water.
when you say parent organization, is that your founder or?
No, that's Mission Clean Water operates in Uganda and the United States. So I could have mentioned our headquarters is based in the United States, in New Jersey, under the leadership of James Leitner, who is our president and co-founder, and president and founder of Mission Clean Water.
Okay. So currently, who is your funding source?
We are exploring numerous funding streams. One of them is we lead a fundraising team based in the United States, and Mission Clean Water has multiple prongs of fundraising, sometimes having marathons, running, and also developing grant proposals. Our sole funder is the funds we raise from Mission Clean Water head office in the United States. And once the funds have been raised, they are then sent to Ugandan office to implement programs. I'm responsible for business development or identifying projects that are based in Uganda or in Africa, and then we source out for funds to develop or implement them.
Okay, like in Africa generally, which other countries do you operate in?
Ever since the inception of Mission Clean Water, we've only operated in Uganda, and in Uganda we operate in Teso sub-region. But with the project
Okay,
that we had with the Wells of Life, we got a funding to repair over 50 boreholes in Acholi, Lango, and Teso sub-region.
okay. So 50 in those two districts. So maybe Susan, you can, if you have a question, you can ask. Well, that's another.
I was trying to confuse. You was talking about working with Ministry of Energy and Environment. Is it one ministry or you're meaning Ministry of Energy, then Ministry of Water and Environment?
A misnomer. A misnomer. From the district, we work with the district water offices. That is what we call maybe Ministry of Water and Energy. Directly, we have not had a direct engagement with the head office, Ministry of Water, but at local level, we are working alongside the district water offices in Teso sub-region.
Okay. So maybe we can mention something there relating to the institutional arrangement of work. For us, SNP, as I said, we are working also globally in those three sectors. For the water sector, we work with 4 line ministries. We work with primarily with the Ministry of Water and Environment. Then that is in the area of water supply. Then for sanitation and hygiene, we work with the Ministry of Health. That is for household sanitation. But for school sanitation, we work with Ministry of Education and Sports. That coordinates sanitation at school. But for social mobilization, we also partner with the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Now, Ministry of Water and Environment has regional offices, the concentrated structure, which we call the rural
Umbrellas.
water and sanitation regional centers. For us, we work with the regional center one, which is based in Lira. And if you are in Soroti, there is also a regional center. I think that is the regional center two, either two or four. I'm not two or four, which is based in Bale. That is how the structure of the Ministry of Water is. Now, when it comes to the district local government, we also work with we are working with all the 9 district local government in Lango sub-region. And in each of those local government, we sign what we call the MOUs. And that MOU gives us the mandate to work in all the sub-counties. We work actually district-wide. We don't work in only one sub-county. We work in district-wide. And we try to reach everybody. And in every district, we have a focal point person that coordinates. The mandate on provision of water supply, rural or urban, it is under the Ministry of Water and Environment. So for that matter, the district water officer is our focal point person in all the districts. But of course, it works under delegated function of the chief administrative officer. But also under the Environmental Health Department, as I said, we work with the Ministry of Health. Ministry of Health also has structures at the district under the department which they call Environmental Health Department, headed by, formerly they were called district health inspectors, but now they are called assistant district health officer in charge of environmental health. So we even work with those. Then we also, Ministry of Gender also has the Department of Gender, Labor and Social Development. So we work with the district community development officers. Ministry of Education also has a structure at the district, that is the district education officer or inspector of schools. Then we span at the sub-county. When we are at the sub-county, you have the health assistant, you have the CDOs. And then, yeah, that's the structure of our work. Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Then also, I was trying to ask that you talked about repairs and you talked about repair of 70 boreholes in those 2 districts. How do you do your repairs? Is it just replacement of pipe or full rehabilitation? Where you, yeah, what does it entail, your work of repairs?
Yeah, thanks. First and foremost, these boreholes were the boreholes that were supported by Wells of Life in the past during the time of war. And like you know, initially in the past, they used the GI pipes. So we did assessment to identify the failing parts and then the condition of the wells. Some of them needed to full overhaul. So we had a full-term rehabilitation of these boreholes, including repairing the apron and the soak pits, changing the cylinders, replacing the GI pipes with the SS, and then the head assemblies if they were to be replaced, the chains, overall. Yes. And then, of course,
So
we worked alongside the district water office, but also there were local hand pump mechanics that were available, that were also empowered and trained them to continue to monitor and identify the troubleshooting of the future maintenance of those boreholes.
So in terms of the working with the HPMs, are they the ones who do that rehabilitation, or you contract it out, or you have a team that do you do it in-house as well? So as a Mission Clean Water,
we collected the hand pump mechanics to work alongside us. We have in-house technical expertise that does the repairs of the hand pumps, but to build the indigenous capacity, localized capacity, so that they continue to service or maintain the well, because we empower the water user community members to call or reach them out in an event there's a technical glitch with the borehole. We worked alongside them. We contracted them actually instead to work alongside our technical team, so that are involved in the process of repairing all those boreholes.
So what will, you said, as you contracted HPMs, do you give them a full contract, or you buy some materials and they provide only labor?
We had a multi-pronged. Wells of Life actually provided all the materials that were needed in the process of repairing the wells. Part of the assessment was when we disengage the well, we could to see all replaceable parts and move to all those parts and could replace those parts. But the actual fixing, the labor involved the local hand pump mechanics and of course the district water office. One, because we wanted, once we were left, they continued to be within the vicinity of continuing to manage the well after us. So it was a labor for that time, but we provided the materials and also build the capacity to tell them that these long-lasting materials, first and foremost, the AS products, but also once in the future they continue to pay the water use fees, then the resources they could realize from payment can go into management or paying the hand pump mechanics to come and troubleshoot or repair minor repairs. In an event of a very expensive repair, maybe replacement of a cylinder or more than a cylinder, we left our contacts with them. They could reach out to Mission Clean Water, and then we could work with the team again to process or get them that missing part, and then the hand pump mechanic goes along them to put it back.
Okay, maybe Susan has some question around there, around the. Okay, if she doesn't have, okay, like I asked that, like for the labor for the HPMs, like on average, how much you pay them?
It seems like there were standardized prices that the ministry or the hand pump mechanical association themselves are designated or designed for themselves in the districts where we went, including support from the district court office.
Okay.
Every repair it was sliding, but the average price was about 75,000 per day. 75,000 per day.
Okay. And what will be the role of communities during those repairs or this full rehabilitation? Is there some community contribution? And if it is, where is it paid? Does it go to the district water office? Does it come to wells? I mean, Vision Clean Water.
No, if we were to operate as the framework of the ASP, probably that could have, the time we were repairing those wells, we were not operating on the framework of the ASP model. So in that case, the contributors were initially being kept by the water user committee members themselves. And since we're doing a full-blown repair, we carried alongside the new materials for the repair of the boreholes. In any case, if they collected their fees, the fees were kept by them, but in the future they were going to use for future maintenance and management of their well. Such fees could not come to us or to Mission Clean Water, neither would they go to the hand pump mechanic. But in an event that they wanted the services of the hand pump mechanic, then they could go to the basket to pay the hand pump mechanic. We never get any funds from the beneficiaries whatsoever in our project lineup.
Okay, so sorry for asking so many questions.
But that's even better actually. It gives us to understand each other very well.
So I can also tell you how we operate. For us also we do, as Susan had said, we also do full rehabilitations and major repairs. Full rehabilitation is where we do total overhaul. We start also by a technical assessment, and some boreholes we do flashing using the service rig and do a bit of some areas where there are problems we can also realign. Then for major repairs, we do it through the hand pump mechanics. Our hand pump mechanics are arranged through the association, and they have signed performance contracts with the district local government. They have the performance-based contract, which spells out how much they charge per borehole, depending on the intervention. If it is this monthly preventive maintenance, basically we say, tightening of bolts and nuts and all that, it has also a rate. If it is quarterly maintenance, where in a quarter after 3 months, they go and pull out the pipes, clean it up, and then maybe replace the pump buckets, the sealing rings, and whatever. It also has a rate. Then it has the replacement of the pipes, all the pipes, pulling it out and replacement. It also has a different rate. And if the rate always depends on the depth of the well. If it is a shallow well, it has a different rate. A deep well, it also has a different rate because the labor is different. The time you take to repair a shallow well, sometimes there are only 3 pipes as opposed to some borehole where 25 pipes. So that is the approach we use. For major repairs, we use hand pump mechanics as part of their capacity building. But for full rehabilitation, we use drilling contractors, those which are licensed and they have operating permit, they have the drilling permit, renewable, valid one. And we get this list of those valid people from the Uganda Drillers Association and as well as Ministry of Water and Environment. Then we do the advert in an open way through open tender. They compete. If the works are many, we lot. Like last year, we did more than 140 boreholes where we full rehabilitation was more than 70 full rehabilitation. Then repairs, we had more than even 100 repairs where we replaced. We are also moving away from GI. We are to stainless steel. That's what we are doing. And we work together. The district water officer is the one that supervises all that work, of course, from together with us, because we have technical team, we have the social mobilization, we work with the CDOs and health system. But for quality assurance, our technical team have to work together with the district water office. We don't rely and say that, okay, it is now being supervised by the district water office, we don't reach there, because we have seen the quality of some of the works there. So that's the approach that we do. And our major funding for the last 10 years has been Austrian Development Agency, ADA. But also for the next 3 years, we are also supporting the rollout of the O&M framework with the funding from Hilton Foundation. And that is being implemented by Ministry of Water and Environment in partnership with Oduma and SNB in the 9 districts in Lamu sub-region. I have to tell you that the model that there are 2 models adopted for the rollout of O&M framework. There's a model which is being implemented in all the districts, except districts in Lamu sub-region. That's the one you are talking about. The framework, the way it is, where you talk about sub-county water board, district water board, district being gazetted as a water authority, water user committee being reorganized from 9 to 3, like that. That's the framework, the way it is supposed to operate. But however, for us in this region, the ministry is also piloting another model which they call a cluster model. And that cluster model where all these 9 districts, they come up together through an alliance. And instead of each district having an ASP, here they have agreed that they are going to have only one ASP to work in all the 9 districts. And it is the ASP to now see how he's going to structure himself. If he will get some other NGO to help them down in some districts, but that will be this arrangement. But it is one ASP, and they will just, the entire Lamu region will be gazetted as a water authority, like not a district. But that is the difference between the model that we are implementing, and yeah, it is slightly different for learning. The ministry. So in terms of the partnership, I think for now, what I can say that there's opportunities for learning, cross learning. As we have already engaged, we can always be available. If you want some learning to come to our project, to come and learn a few things, it is okay. We can also learn your model, and then maybe in future, if you, as you said in the initial mail, that we can see how to write joint proposal. Yeah? But I have first to brief my country director on this engagement, and then yeah, we want to reach to people, because if you see really access to water is still low. I want to say that we don't have funding for very big schemes. I think this year we are doing only upgrades of some two schemes, because we have diversified to schools, menstrual hygiene management, school sanitation, constructions, and several other areas. That's why we have split the funds into different things. Yeah. Does it make it better? Or
Yeah, it makes this exceedingly Terrific. Learned a lot though. Yes. Yeah. In the near future. One question, of course, for me will be yes. We talked about Lango as your region, and then you also mentioned about the cluster approach that you have, the model that you're piloting vis-a-vis the Ministry of Water and Environment model that we access in TESO. Is there possibilities that you could do TESO as a region itself? I don't see presence of SNB here. That you're moving to TESO as a region, or been to TESO in the past.
Okay. Okay. So that question is the same thing that one of the recommendations that came from recently. We had a project launch in Kampala that was on 31st of March, and one of the key recommendations that came out, they're saying that this good model we adopted in terms of system strengthening, we should work together with the local government and the ministry and try, and other development partners, and try to write fundable proposals so that we can expand to other regions. So we are already thinking about that. Kalaki, we were there in Kalaki during COVID-19. Kalaki was one of the districts that SNB worked in. And we still want that after, when we write a proposal, TESO is in our radar, just like West Nile and other areas. Regions which are neighboring Lango, that is the TESO and Acholi region. So we shall first start from that, with that as we write other proposals. So always what we want is, Sustainable Development Goal 17 talks about partnership. That you cannot do it alone, so you need to partner. So likewise, if you have a win of anything, any funding opportunities, we can always talk together and then we see how do we write a joint proposal. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't know whether my colleague has any question to ask. That was literally what I wanted to.
Okay.
Naturally, just to appreciate Mr. Kelo for the fruitful conversation and highlighting mostly on how you do your work, and appreciate my colleague Andrew for the detailed insights.
Okay. Maybe something I did not mention is that for us, we work with a lens of sustainability. And sustainability, we look at it in its seven dimensions, the financial, the technical, the economic, and all those aspects, the social and other aspects. But because of that, we work with institutional structures of government. As I told you, our implementation is through the structures of government, but we also engage with the local organizations, locally based organizations. Like in Soroti, I think we partnered with an organization called Soroda. So it used to be Soroti Rural Development something. I think you should be knowing it.
I know Soroda, I know Weda. I think Weda and Soroda, I know all of them. Socadidos, Weda.
Yeah, the Socadidos and something like that. So we used to work with them, with the Soroda, and even as recent as 2021, we still work with them. 2019, 2022, we partnered with them. They were implementing in Gulu under the USHA project, and then under the SWASPO A project phase 1. We engaged them, at least we worked with them for 1 year. So we try to work with locally based organizations, meaning that when we even come, like in Soroti, we identify other organizations we partner with, and we deliver jointly as part of capacity enhancement, cross-learning, but also sustainability. That if the project is not there, they continue. We work with the Caritas, Global, and quite a number of them. So that's our approach.
Yes. Thank you again.
So thank you so much. My email has been shared, so in case you need any support, you need to clarify something, it is always is fine.
Yes, thank you very much, Engineer Okello, for having these insightful discussions. And I learned a lot from it, and then I continue to engage with you and establish or explore synergies where you could work together. And again, thank you for having a second time to talk to each other. I was saying we
Yes,
talked either we met in the Iowa in Kigali Convention Center or
yes.
Afwasa.
Or Afwasa.
Afwasa?
Afwasa, we were there also. Afwasa, we were also there.
I
We have
remember
met at
when
a
I
number of places.
when my country global director sent me your number, it popped up from my phone. Said, "Wow, I have him."
Okay. All right, thank you. It's my pleasure.
He used to
Look forward to
to
continuous
sing.
engagement.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gloria, are you there?